and a pleasant good evening to everyone. Welcome. Welcome all. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Right here on WOSD Radio, WRLN Radio, and WBOE, the best of everything, as well as uh, what's that other station? Oh, My Jam Radio. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Here's hoping that you had a great Memorial Day weekend, a 3 day weekend, that is. Well, some of you all. I know some people text me and said they went to work on Monday. Ah, I'm sorry. Well, here's some music to make it a little bit better. Coming up in our last hour, we do a thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. That's in our last hour. Throughout the night, Who Did It Best? Where we play one song by two different artists, and you tell me who did it best. But right now, let's kick it off with the Isley Brothers. They always do it best. Here's Let's Fall in Love here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Mm. Good evening, Henry Cooper. Good evening, Deron Williams. Thank you for being in the chat room, as always. The stars are doing. Felt my nana. He's back. Mmm, yummy. So, guys, how was your 3 day weekend? Hopefully, it was good. Mine was good. Yep, mine was good. She's about 5'9". The girl is so fine. I like that line. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. If you hear some noise in the background, it's my fan. Where them fans at? Them fans are on in the studio. That's what they are. Good evening to Henry Cooper and also to Deron Williams. Thank you for being in my chat room as always. I really appreciate you guys. We call them Al's pals, not Al's gals, but Al's pals, and we appreciate you, brothers. Thank you so much. And we appreciate donations. They're welcome via Zelle at alpgreer@gmail.com. That's Al, P as in Paul, Greer at gmail.com. Or just go to my GoFundMe page, all right? Here's Shalimar for the lover in you on Bedtime Stories. Are you making me feel? We would not have been able to get away with this back in the day, eating in the studio. That was a no-no. Hmm. That was a no-no. baby.
This is Mercy, one of Al's gals. Hi, this is Tracy T, one of Al's gals. This is Saria, one of Al's gals. You're listening to Al Greer with Bedtime Stories.
It's my vest. I didn't do that on purpose. Trust me. Shalimar, somewhere there's a love for me. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Henry Cooper, Deron Williams, thank you so much once again for being Al's pals. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to tell everybody else about the show, okay? Bedtime stories. All right? Okay. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. And while you're at it, my good friend and brother Gregory Gibbs, also known as Luther, did a phenomenal show this past Saturday night out at Theater 47, John Ruffin's Theater 47. Excellent job. He and Mr. Dion, they tore the place up. You know, if you've never heard Gregory Gibbs, you're in for a treat. He is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Okay, what is my computer doing this time? Okay, all right, I'm going to cut that out there. I'm going to cut that out there. Hold on. There we go. There we go. All right, now we're back. Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we're going to do foreplay. It's going to be a special foreplay because this gentleman would have been 100 years old today. We're talking about the great Miles Davis, one of the greatest trumpeters of all time. And we'll pay tribute to him tonight on his birthday. Happy heavenly birthday to you, Miles Davis. He was the first of two in a row from the Spinners. I'm so glad you walked into my life. Mm-mm. 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 You want to go? Those were some good leftovers. You can't eat everybody's leftovers. You just can't. Okay. We have each other. That's how you end the song right there. Smile, we have each other from the Spinners, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This, of course, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Saying hello to Phyllis Rogers, who on the 6th of June, we will be, I guess, celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Day. And that's going to be coming up. Let me give you the address right now while we have a captive audience, right? Okay, let me find it because I want to give the right one out. Here we go. 39th Annual Survivors Celebration Pier Plus Columbus Park Reflectory, which is at 5701 West on Jackson Street. That's on the west side. So we hope to see you there from 1 until 5 p.m. Sunday, June 7th. Did I say the 6th? The 7th. All right. Hope to see you guys there. I'll be there. There'll be a belly dancer there. And of course, Rico Michael Jackson. He'll be performing as well. Here's the first of two in a row from Ray Goodman and Brown, aka The Moments. And let's take it to the limit. Mm, 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 mm. Every minute. remember with you. And breathing. Like I am. Hmm. Well, Harry Ray, Al Goodman, Billy Brown, The Moments, and with you here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And as I said earlier, it's on June 7th, not the 6th. Although I do have something on the 6th as well with Rico, but that ain't it. So, June 7th, which is a Sunday. So we hope to see everybody there. All right. We'll give that information out at the top of the hour here on Bedtime Stories. But now it's time for Who Did It Best. Here's Boys to Men, and They'll Never Be.
Just said that I insulted Jesus. You want to know what insults Jesus? Kicking the sick off their health care while cutting taxes for billionaires, deporting the stranger, and separating babies from their mothers. You know what insults Jesus? Bombing innocent school children in Iran and sending our brave men and women off to die in another forever war. You know what insults Jesus? Covering up the Epstein files and then refusing to prosecute a single person in them. This man had the.
I know that's right. Mm.
President Trump was accommodating. I'm gonna give the man this. The man was very congenial, as we said. I said, well, I have a mentoring program, but my mentoring program is restricted because I can only do about 1,000 boys, and I can do them only one time a year in each city. I want to create vision centers around the country where I can take these schools that you're closing in the inner cities, take HUD funds, put it with them, and then go in and refurbish these schools and build it and turn them into a place where boys and girls can come and learn life skills, and parents can come and learn financial skills. You can go online, look them up. They opened up 3 of them. All the ideas I had given them, they enabled. He's gonna make America great again. Let's go, Donald Trump! I'm doing this absolutely free of charge.
First African American to come out and meet with Donald Trump.
Yes, Steve took heat from the African American community after sitting down with the Donald. So, what's his current take on Trump?
How do you think he has done so far?
Why are we laughing?
The laugh to me felt like, oh, I'm not touching that.
Let's touch it anyways.
As far as doing what he promised me he'd do, he's doing it. You know, I'm working with HUD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some housing for underprivileged people.
Yay, Trump!
So you're happy about what Trump's been doing in
I
terms of
didn't
what
say
you said?
that.
Yay, Trump!
All I said was
That you're working with us.
he's keeping his word to what he said he would do.
Fat fuck.
better love. Love, 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 love. They were called Switch because they could play each other's instruments, and at any time, one of them would break out as the lead singer. That, of course, Bobby DeBarge, um, Philip Ingram, who was the brother of James Ingram. Yeah, all of them sang lead, except for the bass player, and that was Tommy DeBarge. He didn't sing at all. He could play that bass. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. One of the greatest bands and lead singers of all time is Frankie Beverly. Here's Lady of Magic on Bedtime Stories.
and former presidential candidate Ron Paul suffered a stroke during a live 2020 interview after the 85-year-old began slurring his words and speaking incoherently before becoming visibly disoriented. From the person experiencing it, a stroke can feel terrifying and confusing, as parts of the brain suddenly begin shutting down from a lack of blood flow, sometimes causing speech to not make sense, thoughts to become scrambled, vision to blur, or parts of the body to suddenly feel numb, weak, or impossible to control. The live stream quickly cut away as viewers realized something was seriously wrong. Ron was later hospitalized, where doctors confirmed he had suffered a stroke, though he eventually recovered and returned to public appearances. In 2010, 45-year-old Malcolm McDonald from Norfolk, England, developed a severe blood infection that caused his Count Shaftula to turn black and eventually detach from his body. After years of depression and isolation, surgeons created a replacement using skin, blood vessels, and nerves taken.
That's my girl. That's my girl. Maze featuring Frankie Beverly right here on Bedtime Stories and Lady of Magic for Monique. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WRLN Radio, a radio media station, WBOE, which belongs to Reggie Miles, and My Jam Radio. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, once again. And this is Bedtime Stories.
National Cancer Survivors Day, brought to you by Night Out in the Parks and Peer Plus. Do you think you've got what it takes? If you can sing, dance, rap, or do more, feel free to enter the Talent Show Auditions, sponsored by Fly Guys Productions. Registration opens today and closes July 23rd. Audition July 30th and 31st. The Talent Show will be held October 17th. Show up and show out. Only $100 to enter. The grand prize, $1,000 cash. For information, call 773-630-2261. 773-630-2261. Zelle your audition fee of $100 to 773-630-2261. Or go to www.fgpenterprise.com. If you think you've got what it takes, show up and show out. Sign up today at fgpenterprise.com or call 773-630-2261. This is a Fly Guy production. 3E's Video and Editing Service and Photography too have developed a new wave in video and photography. 3E's Video is the only top-tier video and photography company that offers you to view some of your wedding, party, and event pictures and video clip the very next day on our social media pages. That's why 3E's Video and Editing Service is the #1 in the Midwest. We bring affordable video, photography, and superb editing to your doorstep. 3E's Video have a new wave. 3E's Video is the only top-tier photography company that actually gives you prints and an 8x10 picture mounted in a frame. With over 20 years of experience, they freeze precious moments in time through great videos, photos, and superb editing. So give them a call at 312-623-9587. 312-623-9587. Their motto is Hollywood results at economic prices. 3E's Video
And tell them the doctor sent you. 3E's Video, Ernest Leonard's, my main man. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep. The greatest love songs of all time. For my steppers and skaters, here's Bobby Lyle. They call him the genie. This is Good Inside. Give my love to you. Makes me feel so good inside. Inside. Said to you, it feels so good inside. Ooh, excuse me. Where is my sister?
All time without Greer and Bedtime Story.
shut it down. Oh, yeah, two, two in a row. Two in a row for my steppers. Leon Thomas and Chinatown. Before that, The Genie, Bobby Lyle, and So Good Inside, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, hoping you had a great 3-day weekend. That is, if you didn't work on Monday, then you had a great one. I know I did. Well, I don't necessarily work, so 3-day weekend, it's no big deal to me, right? Anyway, this is Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. And one of the greatest singers of all time is Luther Vandross. My brother, Gregory Gibbs, sounds a lot like Luther. When I asked him, I said, "Well, how did you get started?" He said he was at school and somebody heard him singing, and they're like, you're going to be in our talent show. And that was it. And the rest, as they say, is history. Here's Any Love from Luther on Bedtime Stories. Any love, any love. Thank you, Cheryl. She had to have the last word. If This World Were Mine, originally done by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, redone by Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Thank you. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest right there. A little slide. Little Sly never hurt anybody, right? Anyway, once again, hello, Henry Cooper, Deron Williams, and everybody who is watching me right now on Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Even though you're not talking, I appreciate that. Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we do a thing we call foreplay. But right now, here's two in a row from the fantastic Isley Brothers. From the album The Heat Is On, featuring Fight the Power, here's Sensuality on Bedtime Stories. My hon. Mm. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Of all time without Greer and Bedtime Story.
Hmm. Two, two in a row from the Isley Brothers. That is Real Woman. Hmm. Every now and then, you run into a real woman. She's got to own everything. They say we lie, right? It's like, those aren't your eyelashes that long. You know, your nails are not that long. Your hair is not that long. See, we lie out loud. They lie silently. Anyway, but that's okay. It's a beautiful lie. The Isley Brothers and Real Woman right here on Bedtime Stories. Just ahead of foreplay in about 22 minutes right now. Once again, for my steppers, my skaters, boppers, here are the Blackbirds and Mysterious Vibes.
He said it'll only be a great deal for all or no deal at all, which incidentally is a new game show coming to NBC. Hosted by Howie Mandela-Tola. And then, hours after saying we're close to an agreement, he started bombing Iran again. It's as if that FIFA Peace Prize means nothing to this man. And of course, this is all happening on Memorial Day, the day on which we honor the women and men who gave their lives to protect our country, our freedoms, our ideals, everything we used to stand for. The president posted a message to social media. He wrote, "Happy Memorial Day to all, including the Democrats who disrespect our military and all of the tremendous success that it has had over the last year. God bless those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. I love you all." No one puts the me in Memorial Day like Donald J. Trump. And I'll tell you something. He's particularly excited about this new nickname, Democrats, which he thinks he came up with, even though it was on The Simpsons in 1994. He's been workshopping a whole new bit about it, and it goes a little something like this. And I watched what he was saying and what the horrible things he was saying, and I said, wait a minute, he's a Democrat. That's how I got the name. You take the E out, you don't use the me. A lot of people don't know dumb has a me in it. Actually, you don't need it. You discard the me. But you take the E out and you replace it with a U. They're dumb. They are Democrats. Could you run us through that one more time? You take the E out. You don't use the me. A lot of people don't know dumb has a me in it, actually. You don't need it. Okay. You discard the me. But you take the E out and you replace it with a U. They're dumb. They are Democrats. Okay. All right. I think I got it. A lot of people don't know dumb has a B in it. And that crowd he's in front of, I think he's right, actually. A lot of them don't know there's a B in the word baby. And then he made time for his classic, I'm smart because I aced a test they give victims of head injuries routine. So the first question was, you have a bear, a snake, an elephant, and a horse. Name the horse. That's the horse. But toward the end, like they had a question like, pick a number, sir, any number. Okay. 203. Multiply times 9. Divide by 2. Add on 1,324. Subtract 1,292. Sir, multiply it out one more time by 19. What is the answer, sir? Did I get it right? Yes, he's mommy's smartest little boy. I'm so proud of him. Got it right. That is so. This test that he's bragging about is called the Montreal Cognitive Test. First of all, it's incredibly easy. I took it myself. I got a perfect score, no problem. And second, there are no equations on this test. There's no multiplication. There's no division. He's making that up. Even his lies are lies.
Hi, this is Tracy T, one of Al's gals, and you're listening to Al Greer with Bedtime Stories.
Losing it mentally, because that's what he kept saying about Joe Biden, and he's sensitive about the idea that he is physically unfit as well. He got another physical today. It's his third examination in a little over a year. Do you think when they do these, he knows he's going to the hospital, or is it like when you trick him? Last year, Trump was diagnosed with a condition called chronic venous insufficiency, and the word venous in that case spelled with a P. And today, he went in for another examination. He got a glowing report from himself. This afternoon, he posted, just finished my 6-month physical at Walter Reed Military Medical Center. Everything checked out perfectly. Thank you to the great doctors and staff heading back to the White House. Trump says there's nothing wrong with him. The reason he went in is because the doctor said, sir, please come in for another exam so we make chiseled body and plump, delectable testicles. And I'll tell you something, his brain is hard as a rock, too. This is from Aaron Rupar, who noticed that Trump's post about Iran today is identical to what he posted about Iran 8 days ago. He posted the same message twice, which means he either doesn't know he's repeating himself or he's seeing the future. He's Postradamus. And then we have our Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was hanging around at Dr. Roz's house this weekend, and he spotted a pair of black racer snakes, either mating or just wrestling. I don't know. For whatever reason, he decides he's going to pick them up. He grabs them. And I guess it seemed like a good photo opportunity because he holds them up, and as he's holding them up, these are biting at him. They're trying to bite him. And he's like, don't worry, I've handled raccoon penis. I know what I'm doing. And then one of them bites at his thigh, and then he gets bitten on the hand, not just once. That's when you know a guy's a genius, when it happens multiple times. But his skin it's like an old saddle. Nothing breaks through. He's dangling these snakes like they're yo-yos or something. And then he took them in the house and ate them like Twizzlers. And that's the guy in charge of your newborn baby. Let's rock about Monday. I wonder if that video was shot with the new Trump phone. I mentioned last week, after months of delays, 9 months of delays, in fact, the Trump brand mobile phone finally started shipping to customers. And what a lucky bunch of customers they are. Trump Mobile is now investigating a potential security flaw that appears to have exposed the personal information of those who bought their phones. And that is a shame. If you can't trust your sensitive personal information with the guy who stored classified documents in the shower of his golf club, is there anyone you can trust nowadays? Now, believe it or not, while selling a phone named after yourself is rare for a president, Trump is not the first one to do it. In fact, the first time a president decided to sell his own brand name signature phone was way back in 1865, and he even made one of the very first commercials for it.
Oh, hello! It's your favorite president, Abraham J. Lincoln, with a walloping announcement. You love my penny, my lords, and even my town car. So today I ask you, would you like to exchange communiques with friends and family, but find telegraphs too impersonal and postal letters too easily stolen by Irishmen? Now there's a better way. The Lincoln telephone, designed to resemble my signature shuffle, joined by a stream of gold from the Orient, which is what we call it right now. And with my complimentary long-distance plan,
You can stay in touch with real life from the north or south, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. Roaming charges. Sounds crisp, clear, and
That is such a beautiful song. Dexter Wansell from the album Life on Mars. It's called 1,000,000 Miles from the Ground. You're on Bedtime Stories. With the Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer, just about 12 minutes away from foreplay. But first, here's two in a row from Prince Rogers Nelson. It's 1,000 kisses and hugs and kisses and more hugs and more kisses. Until this is what you when you come back on. Maybe turn the page. Lieutenant, kiss you all over your face. What you've done. To baby mama. Mm. Prince Rogers Nelson. Try that again. Prince Rogers Nelson. Future baby mama back here on Bedtime Stories. We don't have to make a kid. We just practice making one. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Foreplay is next, right after this song. Blue Eyed Soul from Daryl Hall and John Oates. It's Sarah Smile on Bedtime Stories. Daryl Hall says he does not like the term blue-eyed soul. He says soul is soul, whether you're blue-eyed or brown-eyed or squinty-eyed. He says soul is soul. I heard that. Blue-eyed soul. Anyway, foreplay is next, if I can get my mic to work. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio, DB Chicago, WRLN Radio, a radio media station, WBOE, the best of everything, and My Jam Radio. The mailman.
Sin filtro, sin maquillaje, sin nada, no soy perfecta, pero
Hey guys, so UCA wonders that my mom and I can prepare a prom for this upcoming Mother's Day. Right now, I'm asking my mom the three things that if
Okay. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time. Time for foreplay. This gentleman was born in Alton, Illinois. Yep. 100 years ago. Yep. Probably one of the most proficient trumpet players of all time. And not only that, but one of the originators of funk fusion, or jazz fusion as they call it. The forerunner to smooth jazz. Yep. He had an album called Bitches Brew, and that started everything. Of course, musicians like Herbie Hancock, Michael Henderson, and others have worked with him. So he has surrounded himself with some of the greatest musicians of all time. Herbie Hancock was telling a story where he was playing with Miles one time and he hit a wrong note or a wrong chord. And Miles looked at him and just played and made it sound like It was not a mistake. Some people call him genius. Some people call him a junkie. Well, he was both. He was both. Ladies and gentlemen, and foreplay for the first time ever, Miles Dewey Davis. Here's the man with the horn. Income. It's the man with the horn.
Bedtime Stories with Al Greer.
Hmm.
It's foreplay inside Bedtime Stories with Al Greer.
No, it's not the Smooth Jazz Cafe on Sunday. No. That, of course, Miles Davis and Tutu, produced by Marcus Miller, which just happened to be Luther Vandross's bass player. Also, we heard Time After Time, Human Nature, and The Man with the Horn, all recorded before he made his transition. The man who created the smooth jazz genre, or the funk jazz or jazz fusion genre. Yeah, and a lot of people followed him. Um, he influenced Roy Ayers, Herbie Hancock, and a guy by the name of Michael Henderson. Mike, of course, was Stevie Wonder's bass player. And Miles came up to him and said, "I'm taking your freaking bass player." And he did. After that, Michael Henderson was recruited by Norman Connors, and the rest is history. And of course, Miles Davis inside Foreplay tonight on Bedtime Stories. Rest in peace, Prince of Darkness. That's what they used to call him, the Prince of Darkness. I guess because he was so dark, you know. But anyway, how did his voice get like that? He had some polyps removed from his vocal cords, and the doctors told him not to speak for, a couple of weeks. But Miles, of course, ignored the doctor and strained his voice, and that became his trademark, besides the fact that he used a muted trumpet to play most of his songs in the later years. The early years, like in the 50s, just straight trumpet and no vibrato. That, no, 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 he just played it straight. Miles Dewey Davis, continue to rest in peace. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. What was your favorite movie of all time? Some people say one of their favorite music movies was The Five Heartbeats. And they were always wondering when they were coming to perform. It wasn't a real group. It was a combination of the Temptations, the Dells, and other groups who had performed throughout the 60s and 70s. And of course, the Temptations. Eddie Kane was definitely David Ruffin, if you look at it. From the movie soundtrack, here's After Seven and Nights Like This. I wish that raindrops would fall.
Do you know why Michael Jackson never took off his nose tape until his death? The truth is heartbreaking. It is said that he almost never removed his nose tape in private, and even in public it was the same. There were even witnesses who saw his body and confirmed that Michael's nose was fake. And the coroner removed the nose tape and the false nose during the examination. Michael's former housekeeper, Adrian McManus, also admitted that Michael kept a whole box of fake noses in his closet. When he first started his career, his nose was round and natural, but over time his nose became very pointed. Many people believe that this change was due to his extreme anxiety about his appearance and fear of fans' opinions. However, his former bodyguard denied this, stating that the true source of Michael's deep pain came from ridicule by his family. Michael was humiliated by his father for having a big nose from a young age, and was even sometimes beaten. His siblings also often mocked him. To escape this shadow, Michael became obsessed with nose surgeries, which ultimately led to the disfigurement of his face.
That's Michael.
Joseph.
Why do y'all call him Joseph?
Oh, I can't believe you're asking me this. Because it's bringing back a memory. I remember when I had called him Daddy, and he said, "No, you call me Joseph. I'm Joseph to you." Never said it again.
You remember how old you were?
I was very young, younger than 10, younger than 9.
You're
So I
listening
don't
to
know why,
Bedtime
and I've never
Stories
questioned
with
it.
Dr.
It's what it is, and
Al
I've just
Greer, where we put
let
you
it
to
go.
bed but never to
It's
sleep.
Joseph.
Why do y'all call him Joseph?
Oh, I can't believe you're asking me this. Because it's bringing back a memory. I remember when I had called him Daddy, and he said, "No, you call me Joseph. I'm Joseph to you." Never said it again.
You remember how old you were?
I was very young, younger than 10, younger than 9. So I don't know why, and I've never questioned it. It is what it is, and I've just let it go. It's Joseph.
Historical photos you've never seen before. American prisoners of war after liberation, Philippines, 1945. A U.S. Army lieutenant fires a flaming arrow at a bamboo hut in Vietnam, 1967. 82 years ago, 75,000 American soldiers stormed Normandy to free Europe from fascist tyranny, 1944. A blind Muslim man carrying his paralyzed Christian friend in Damascus, Ottoman Syria, 1889. Photo from the blizzard of 1978 in Cortland, New York. English Royal Guard collapsing from extreme heat while the others remained at attention, 1957. A man takes a selfie using a stick of wood to activate the camera, 1957. 19th century funeral family portrait. 18-year-old James Dean in a photo booth. Volvo crashed into a docked submarine in Lisle, Sweden, 1961. Only accident between a car and submarine. Chuck Jennings races his stagecoach against a DC-3 airmail plane in California, 1939. Children at an early 1900s playground in Chicago. Marshall Fields ran Chicago deliveries with 700 horses and 400 wagons. A service station attendant helps two boys get their football pumped up to pressure with air, 1940s.
On September the 1st, the Varnell Hill show premiered. So me and him produced it together. Yeah. Varnell Hill is now Paramount Plus. So now, and the way it came about is me and Kid from Kid and Play, we were mad because we were like, hey man, there's no more black late night talk shows. So you're gonna miss a lot of black talent, you know, because they're not gonna be having it like we had it on our city or like we had it on The Living Color. You ain't gonna see none of these new acts or whatever, right? So Kid said, man, why don't you call Martin and ask him if you could do the Varnell Hill show. You could do that as a late night talk show. I called him, pitched an idea. I said, yeah, that worked. That worked. 5 years later. Who can take the children? Now them on the yes. There's on the DJ you think melody. Yeah, man, it's gonna be it's a TV show about a late night talk show that's really a late night talk show. Yeah. So when we go to the nighttime part, we got real guests. We killed it. We got a lot coming, man. October London, I mean, Kirk Frank, everybody. I had sketches with Damon and Martin in it, and everybody showed up. The set was like back in the 90s, man. Everybody showed up just to see it, man. You know, so it's gonna be a really good day, man. We worked hard for it too. You know, we worked hard for it.
That was disgusting. I'm sorry. I was not in the hospital all the time. I was in interim back and forth. And I remember sitting down, and at the time my favorite video games. My favorite video game was Pole Position. And I was playing Pole Position, and I felt a little tap on my shoulder. And I turned around, and there was Mike. And you know what, Larry? At that moment we embraced our. I'm just very sensitive to their pain, and I'm very sensitive to. I was not in the hospital all the time. I was.
Sana Lathan is mean as according to rapper DDG. The rapper says when he met Sana Lathan, he told her she was his mother's favorite actress and asked her for a picture. DDG got the picture, but it was clear the actress was annoyed and didn't want to take it. DDG says that's the first time he felt he got played and claims Sana Lathan is the meanest celebrity he's ever met. Sana Lathan is
House. Mm-mm-mm. Talk about a group coming back from the late 50s. That song was done for the movie The Five Heartbeats. Heart is a House for Love. They did a video for it. It was produced by George Duke, and it was in the top 10, which is uncanny for a group that started out as a doo-wop group in the late 50s with songs like Time Marches On, Oh What a Night, Stay in My Corner, and then this song. Chuck Barksdale told me one time, he said, "Man, we've been together longer than most marriages." I said, "I believe you, brother. I believe you." And when the movie Five Heartbeats came out, they were stars all over again. Something that we already knew. Everybody else, oh man, the Dells, they were the consultant on the Five Heartbeats movie. It's like, oh, makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. Here's Luther, Make Me a Believer on Bedtime Stories. Shoe put it in man. Super the Man. Wall Burton. There's a cheese doodle.
The easiest workout for a man over 60. Just 7 minutes a day, and in 1 week, you'll notice a difference. In 2 weeks, others will notice it. And in 3 weeks, all your friends will be asking how you did it. The secret? Download this app. The easiest workout for a man over 60. Just 7 minutes a day.
We're rolling. All right. This man's got rehearsal. Hey. All right. On the last 8 albums, or it could have been longer than that. On all the credits, there's always the thing that says, "They live to see the dawn." Is this the dawn? My own personal dawn is yes. It's the time period where you figure out where you're going, completely judge where you've come from, and lay down all the pieces and exactly what it all means at that point.
I'm not wearing nothing
Early
but
on
Al
in
Green
your career,
with bedtime stories.
well, even now, sometimes you dabble in it. Was the androgynous thing? What I want to know, and with all due respect, was that an act, or were you searching for a sexual identity?
question. I don't suppose I was searching, really. I think I was just being who I was, being the true Gemini that I am. You know? And there's many sides in that as well. And there was a little acting going on too. We'd have the scene where I go hug the bass player, he's a man, and I go kiss the keyboard player, she's a woman. We had some of that going on too. But it's rock and roll.
So there's a lot of religion in the music, a lot of spirituality. I mean, even your first films starts off "Dearly Beloved." It's the first thing we hear. I just want to know, have you ever practiced any organizing at any point in your life?
No, sir. I was made to go to church when I was young, and most thing I got out of that was the experience of the choir. But as far as the message was concerned, a lot of it was based in fear. What will happen to you if you do something bad? And I don't think God is, to be feared that way. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally understand.
And I think He's a loving God. I think He'll reward you for that, not punish you for your mistakes.
God doesn't whip His child; He gives him time out.
Amen.
Okay, I want to know, how did your early relationships with women, your mother, your sister, who you refer to in various records, actually affect the music? Because so much of your music is about women. God created women, you know what I mean?
Well, once my mother remarried, she had to, it was during a time period in my life where she had to try to teach me about the birds and the bees. And, it was pretty heavy at the time. I learned more than the birds and the bees, I think. And I think it really affected my sexuality a great deal. And over time, you come to find out things on your own. It's not really somebody else's fantasy. It's got to be your own. That took a long time.
Yeah, you're going good so far.
Happy holy day. You like my house? Don't you run act, nigga. You're dead. Don't say nothing to that.
Okay, I watched an interview with Mike Tyson where he's watching an old tape of himself. He said, "I can't beat that guy." When you see old tapes of yourself, how do you find them intimidating?
No,
Can you beat the guy?
No.
Or do you want to beat the guy?
I don't want to beat the guy. I pick up some reviews of my work from time to time. And you'll hear a lot of talk about, will he ever match the success of such and such and such and such? See, I'm not on that road. I've been in business 20 years now, and that's a long time. And, I'm still learning. Emancipation is a good indication of that. Some of my harshest critics have said there ain't a bad song on it. The songs like Joint to Joint and Style, which one...
Style. I like Style a lot. I listen to Style.
Oh, yeah? Those type of songs where some people will say it's too long, and another person will say those go with the old Prince tracks. So, Purple Rain and that whole situation, Thriller, that whole situation, Like a Virgin, that whole situation. I mean, that was a time period where the Beatles, they're never going to capture it.
Luther and Wait for Love here on Bedtime Stories. Sometimes you just have to wait. You can't rush into it. And you have to know the difference between love and lust. You have to know the difference. It's a totally different feel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking from experience. Love is love. Lust is lust. Now, you can lust after somebody and just, you know, be all into them. You can. But like I always say, sex can last anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. Foreplay can last all weekend. All weekend. I'm speaking from experience. From the album Joy is Isaac Lee Hayes Jr. A man will be a man. Running from girl to girl was the thing that wrecked my world. Oh, it's you. And I feel so bad. When I was left by you. When it read that we were through.
God. Oh, God. It's not bad. It could be worse. Oh, God, I feel, do you think it is good? It's very good. Yeah, you're way up to Mariana.
Baby, come back home. With my happiness, God blinded me so I couldn't see. Yeah, for loneliness, simply to me, that's just understand. Cause my world is trying. Oh man. I myself and I cheated by myself and I got caught by myself and now I belong to Come back home. Baby, come back home. Don't you understand? You understand? You're another chance. So sorry. From the album Joy, as Isaac Hayes and A Man Will Be a Man. That's going to do it for me, Al Greer. Thank you so much for staying up with me. Henry Cooper, Deron Williams, who were always first in the chat room. Thank you so much. Brother Donovan Price, Pastor Price, I appreciate you. Thank you for your generous donation at lpgreer@gmail.com. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And everybody else, thank you. We will do this again tomorrow, Wednesday, Hump Day, right here on these fine radio stations, WOSD, WRLN, WBOE, and of course, My Jam Radio. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Monique. Nighty night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. If they do, you're through.